Congrats on the win. So it's a best of three series. It's sort of a different feeling. How does I don't know, how do you judge this, and what does it say about the rest of the series?
Well, relieved in some sense. I mean, I think everybody saw what happened to St. Louis. We didn't want to be on that end of the spectrum. Time will tell, Jeremiah. Look, I know you've written about it. There's a lot of, talk about the new format. It has pluses and minuses, I guess. It's kind of an Americanized best of three series. Some teams were criticized after they went down. They brought a bunch of young kids on, rested starters. Each game you have to play to win. I mean, it's still a mixed bag for me. Let's just see how the rest of this plays out. But there were some interesting games, so I'll say that. But maybe that's just the playoffs, because I remember last year there were a lot of interesting one-and-done playoff games in our sport as well. So, where we end up as a league, that's above my pay grade. Playoffs are always exciting. I think the fans had a good time tonight. I think our players had a good time after we scored the second goal. Yeah.
We'll go back to Chris Francis there.
It just seems like they're getting together here now.
I think that group that I started is kind of coming together. I'm sure there'll be questions about Nico and Raul coming up, and they've been such a massive part of this club, such great players for the club. But the guys that started tonight were, the ones that have been scoring some goals, and so, let's see how that ends up. But Jordan has found a good run of form. The penalty was well deserved. It was definitely a penalty. I know they check everything on VAR, but I think Christian did a good job of getting inside the box and using his body well to shield the ball. So clearly a penalty. And then I would say, Chris, the amount of chances we had, I thought were pretty good today. I don't have the expected goals. I don't know where Kevin is in the room, but he should get that for me. But the expected goals felt like we could have had 3 or 4. So let's keep that train moving down the tracks.
I'm gonna message Kevin for you right now. In the meantime, we'll go over to Chris Eden.
Coach, you mentioned your chances. In the second half, you shut them down, but in the first half, they had some chances. And just talk about the play of Steph Fry. I know you preached about his ability in your last meeting with the media, but just another outstanding performance from your goalie.
Well, as a coach, you well know that, it's
Very good coach.
You gotta have players that can make plays. We could have very easily been down 1 or 2-0. Again, I will say this with the best intentions, not to put anybody else down, but I just can't believe why he's not even considered, maybe he was considered, but why he's not in the finalist pool for goalkeeper of the year. I just don't get it. I have no idea why not. You can go all the way back to 2016, maybe even 2014 when he first started in the Shield and everything else, but the save in the MLS Cup. There's been so many saves in critical moments of games where Steph has done what goalkeepers are supposed to do, which is keep the ball out of the back of the net. And you can talk about, goalkeepers playing out of the back and all of that sort of modern stuff. For me, he does his job day in and day out in the biggest moments. He keeps the ball, he keeps our team in games. And I don't know how you quantify that with a statistic, but those 2 saves were critical tonight.
Come out of Moz.
Thanks. Hey Brian, my question is around the 57 mark, you got up off the bench, you told your team to move up, and then what was the message and how did that contribute to the second goal? Because you brought in Ladero after that, and you kept dominating when you got the second goal.
Let's see, I don't think we started the second half very well at all, Moz. Maybe I got off the bench because I was frustrated, I don't know. Maybe there was that one throw-in down at the end of the field where our guys just shut down, and they know better. Every time there's a throw-in, we press high on goal kicks. There are moments that those guys know where we're gonna press higher up the field. Maybe that was that moment, I don't know, I'll have to look at 57 minutes, what I was doing and what the play was happening. But bringing Nico Ladero on, changing the game, because I didn't think we were playing well at that moment, worked. I think when Nico came on the field, he made a immediate impact. Not just because he got the ball to Nuhu, who crossed the ball to Jordan, but there were a lot of good moments there. Him and Albert and JP, they started all connecting passes, and it was really good to see.
We'll go Nico and then come across the room to Jada.
Coach, in terms of getting the result and getting better for the next game, what were your thoughts on how difficult it was for the team to get build out of the back, and the problems that they had with the pressure with Dallas in the first half? It seemed like there was a lot of missed balls and opportunities that came off press by Dallas. And then I wanted to get your take on how do you feel like your press worked against Dallas?
Okay, so you'll watch the film, I know you're a good reporter, you'll watch the film again. I thought the first 12 minutes were really good and the last 12 minutes were really good. Maybe you're talking about that spell in between those moments.
Correct.
Yes. The two mistakes, I would call them mistakes, that led to Steph Fry's great saves, we might want to write those off. I don't think they were, maybe I'll have to see the tape, maybe they were tactical, maybe not. But it's momentum, it's pro sports, it's sports in general. They had a bit of belief, it's ebbs and flows in the game. We'll look at it on tape. Their pressure, they ramped it up. I thought we were able to, at certain moments, get past their pressure. They pressed with 3, but we wanted to squeeze them and make the 3 forwards narrow, which opened up these pockets out here. And so it worked some of the time, and we'll fine-tune that. As far as our pressure was concerned, I give Jordan a lot of credit, not just for the goal, but he was working tonight. I think Albert did a great job. Christian always gives us everything. Josh Atencio worked his butt off. So I think our pressure was pretty effective.
Thanks. Knew he was up high a lot in the second half, and then also I wanted to see what your tweaks will be for the game 2.
Okay, so tweaks for game 2, again, I'll digest and live in the moment. I'll enjoy this one, Jada, and then we'll get to work tomorrow. So I'm not sure about what tweaks we're gonna have, but thank you for the question on Nuhu. I thought that was one of his better games that I've seen since he's been at the club. Locked down defensively in the first half. O'Brien's a talented player, didn't get anything past him. His offensive contributions, those were a bonus. When we brought Nico on, because normally Leo Chu was the widest guy on the field, but Nico is not a winger, and so when Nico and Albert and JP were kind of connecting passes, knew who had to get up and down the line. He understood those moments. He created good opportunities for himself. His physical play of being able to run past people, even when he was tired, I thought he had a tremendous performance tonight.
Go to Jess next.
So you talked about tonight, how the team did a high press, and you guys also had great offensive moments. Would you say that this is, an overall collective team, effort win?
I thought it was a professional win, yes. I thought the guys all played well. They all put the energy, effort, application. I think our trainings have been good. I think the effort and application of our training sessions have been good. The games have been spread out. Sometimes that's hard for a team to stay focused when it's always the coaches are, coaching you up and yelling at you and saying you gotta do this, this, this. So I think tonight they came out and they were able to play. and I think they did a good job.
We'll go to Diego and then a couple on Zoom, and if we have time for follow-ups, we'll go there.
Buenas noches.
Felicitaciones por el triunfo.
Congrats on the win today. During this game, I think there were two key moments during the game. On the first half, that PK that was found in the situation that happened, and then the second was during the with a change of strategy in the second half, how we were able to achieve that second amazing goal. The question is that, do you believe that for the next game, are you gonna have basically the same team, or what changes are you planning on doing based on the game today?
Yeah, the PK, again, Christian did a good job. I think that was a PK. Albert, was it fortunate? It was good. The goalkeeper made a good save. Again, I'm going to enjoy this game before we think about the next game. We certainly have things to think about because the group that ended the game was very, very good. So we'll make those decisions. And again, it's a best of 3 series. I always say that we're gonna need every player. So we'll see.
Brian, you mentioned how well you played the first 12 minutes of both halves. Can you talk about how Jackson, I thought, set the tone with a couple of terrific defensive plays to start the game?
Yeah, the one block that you're talking about, yes, there was some good moments. Jackson's really come into his own. Him and Yaimar are a good pair. That's becoming commonplace. I mean, I just expect that out of the kid.
All right, last question on Zoom, we'll go to Tiago. Tiago, go ahead and ask your question, please.
Good evening, Coach. Congratulations on today's win. My question is about João Paulo. Once again, the Brazilian midfield had a great game and is very important. How do you see his return to the field and his importance to the team?
He should win the league award for Comeback Player of the Year. His importance to our group is he's a smart player. He's tenacious, ball winner, just everything you want in that position. Helps other players around him become better, and that's a good quality to have. When you as an individual, as a leader, as a player within a group can make everybody around you better, that's certainly the highest compliment I can give JP.
Being mindful of the time and getting you guys through the locker room to talk to players, and maybe one more if there's one final follow-up.
They don't want to talk to me. Talk to the players.
We'll call it.